Okay, going right along. My next guests here on the blue couch, Monique Giese and David Klein, both from KPMG, and both reporting about maritime sessions. Monique, you had the first maritime session. I think it's more about freight forwarding, traditional maritime business, and I think yours were more of the support functions kind of in the maritime business. Monique, starting with you, which were the startups you were just seeing, and what did they tell you?
So in our session, we had the startups Freight Hub, Freightos, Container Exchange, and Boxport. I guess they are all well-established startups, so I do not need to tell what they're doing. But what they all have in common, they have like platform models for different services. And what they said is they established their companies because there was no market and no price transparency in freight forwarding. What they also said is they have like complex and manual processes in the freight forwarding. And the main challenge is trust and security of data. And that the logistic industry currently has no digital infrastructure, and that they, with their solutions, would like to work on this infrastructure. And what was very funny, maybe a side note, is that they said, well, in the logistics, the innovation is using the internet. So that's why they did not speak about AI or blockchain technologies. So it's all about, well, collecting data at the moment.
I mean, you've been here a couple of times, I think. So have you seen some improvement over the years? I mean, is it still about, just collecting data, or are the traditional companies kind of picking up? I mean, you just mentioned Freightos, Freight Hub. They went into the industry and said, well, they do it like ages ago, kind of. I mean, has that improved over the years?
Yeah, that's what I definitely think. So the market is really moving, and companies are really aware that they need to adapt their business models. And I guess there is no way to get rid of platform models. So that is the future. And well, I feel very sorry for the companies that did not realize that now. So it's the way forward, and there's no way out.
David, I think your startups are more based in kind of niche markets. Maybe you can tell us about it. Which are the startups you were just witnessing, and what do they do?
Yeah, so the startups that we had in the support session, they approach the whole market from a very different angle. So on the one side, we have transparency, which is something that is also a huge topic in the platform market, like Monique just said. And the other angle is sustainability. So we had Ship and CloseLink. CloseLink being the one targeting the transparency theme. They are a marketplace for lubricants. So ship supplies and lubricants actually make up a huge part of operational expenditures for ship operators. So they're trying to introduce transparency into that very opaque market. And on the other hand, we have Ship, which targets the sustainability theme from an energy perspective. They are a company which developed a hydrogen device. They are producing hydrogen from seawater and try to transform the whole market for hydrogen. And so those two companies, they really come from different angles, but they connect very well in this support sense, because both topics, sustainability and transparency, are very important to that market.
I mean, of course, these are topics everybody's discussing about. Sustainability these days is a huge topic and everything. But I mean, do you see kind of disruptive moments in these markets, in the maritime market? Because I mean, it's all about OPEX, I guess. If you are talking about lubricants and all these kind of things, it's about being sustainable. Is there any disruptive moment in these markets?
Well, absolutely. Right now we're seeing one of the biggest disruptions that the maritime industry has probably seen in a couple of years, with regulatory regulations coming into the market, like IMO 2020, regulating sulfur content in fuel. And the whole effort and the whole media buzz that has surrounded this topic is unprecedented. So if we're talking about disruption here from a market perspective, from a macro perspective, this is really something that has never been there before. But also from a startup perspective, we have to ask ourselves, what is disruption? Is the business models that they're introducing, are they really disruptive? Are they changing fundamentally what we're dealing with in the market? Or are they just an evolution that we see in the market? For example, platform models paying into that demand for increased transparency in a very opaque market. I rather see that as a evolution of the market and not so much as a disruption.
Monique, maybe last question to you. I mean, you know a lot of the ship owners here around Hamburg, pretty much everybody in the industry. How open are they towards startups, to cooperate with them, to talk to them, to try things out with them? Is it still a closed community, or are they really open to startups to get in new ideas?
No, I think it has definitely changed during the course of the last year, and they are open. But the question to me is, well, are startups really able to show the benefit to the ship owner? Because even if they see the benefit, then they're going to invest in startups. But it has changed, and this is a good sign.
All right, so thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Monique, David, thank you very much. Thanks.